start off with the dollar index. So let's go to the weekly. So let's mark this out. The high of this weekly block. So the high is 98.72. 98.72. 98.72. Okay. If you go down, you can see previous 2 weeks be low range. So low range leads to large ranges, doesn't it? Simple concepts. We're gonna keep this simple, okay? A lot of people try to overcomplicate it. I don't like that. Let's simplify it. Small range, large range, small range, large ranges. Okay. Now let's look what's happened in detail. We go down to the daily. You can see, low, low, low. And it keeps taking these lows, and then now it's expanded out of it. Okay. Now the big stops were here. Accumulation. So if you look, we've had this gap, right, and it hasn't been filling in. Many attempts to fill it in. How long has it taken? Like 1-2 weeks. It's left an open gap in, right? Attempted to fill it in there, got up to there, back down again. There, back down again. There, back down again. There, finally we thought, okay, it's gonna break out. Boom, slammed down, took out the lows, then it rallied up. Now, obviously, it's easy to say, well, this block was formed, rallied up. I wouldn't have taken it there. I wouldn't have had the balls to go long there, right? So what I would do is I just waited for something clear. So let me just mark out this range. So here, right, you can see it's easier now, multiple times. Now obviously now we're getting the gap fill. So the close was here, so minimum here, and I think it's come down here. The stops are obviously going to be resting there, So what I'm going to be doing is marking out minimum stops. I do think it can go higher. I'm just going to be marking out minimum stops. So first target there, then we'll see what happens after there. We're going to have a gap here to fill in, and then obviously one stop after another. Go down to the daily, this block there. These highs I think they're going to get taken. Weekly block here, I think it's probably going to reach for the weekly minimum. So what's this level here? Let's mark this out. The low, how many pips away is that? That's about 75. The low comes in at 100.35. 100.35. Remember, we're still in an overall bullish market in this. We have not gone bearish this just yet, in my opinion. Unless these start giving in, then I'm considering bearish. If this gives in, then I'd be bearish. But until that gives in, we've still got bullish flow intact. Weekly. Obviously, in the weekly, the declines are going to look massive. But on a weekly, if this was a 5-minute chart, you'd still be bullish, wouldn't you? So, yeah. So we've done that. Now, the way I would have taken this is, or the way I've looked at it is like this. I had to take an entry. Let's go to the 15-minute, right? Hang on, I'm trying to find it now. Yeah, okay. So what led to this move down to take out these stops here? Let's mark these blocks out. So we can see this was a bearish block, wasn't it? It came down, took out these stops, and then ran up, and we had a nice sell-off from there, right? And then a bit of resistance there, and then it's going closer. As soon as that broke, then it was a game over. Okay, and we can see that we got this bearish candle here. Now the way I would play is, once this high got taken out, see that, okay, that's a breaking market structure off of what an order block, reclaim block, or break, or whatever you want to call it. Not too fast. Took that out, retested it here, and it's got off to the moon. Well, you can see what's happened. Yeah, so it's come down, tested it here again, and then up. Now it's filling the gap in. So what does that mean? So I'm going to start off with a trade I took a loss on, and then we'll go forward. Now I thought cable was going to go up. Now obviously with cable, you can still, the way it's been so strong, still been going up, even with dollar bullishness. Look at that. I still think it's got upside potential. So I marked out some levels higher up, but it hasn't got there yet. So it came here this morning, and I thought, okay, because it's been following this bullish flow here, I thought, okay, we're gonna go up from here. So come down London Open, there's accumulation here, and they started to push up. And I thought, okay. In the morning, I posted this chart. This I thought it was gonna go long, and I got long at 129.50, and I had a stop at 129.40, which is under this block. Went up one or two ticks, and then it took me out. Now I knew that the dollar was gonna go up, like it looked bullish, but I thought, okay, I could get at least this quick stop right here, okay. And obviously it didn't work out, so I thought I turned my attention. Now I wanted dollar CAD long. I had this marked out from yesterday, so 4-hour block here. If you look here, this 4-hour block there, and it's rallied up, formed a block. I thought, okay, let's get long here. Now if you look at the lower time frame, in the morning we got these clean lows, rally up first thing, and then you could have played a short down to there. I did do that in the morning. I got out a bit early. It dropped down into that block, and then I didn't really see an entry here because at the same time I was short euro. So I thought, okay, let me wait. My target is for this is going to be 138.10. Reason why? Because the low of this weekly breaker here is 138.11, and if you look at this candle here, this weekly candle here, I think this has got a lot of people short. So obvious place to place the stop is what? Above 138. And the way I'm looking at it, I'm still bullish as fuck this. I like these kind of candles when I like this kind of bearish candle. A lot of people say this is a bearish candle when other candles line, when the structure is looking bullish and you get a candle like that, you know they're trying to trap people. And as you can see, the bullish flow is intact. So we got this candle here, right? This led to this move down, took out these stops. Okay, everyone clear with that? Is everyone clear with what I'm saying so far? I know I can go a bit quick, but I'm trying to keep this brief as possible and straight to the point, no fucking about. Yes, no. Okay. Okay, so we can see that, yeah. So where they were selling before, if you look on the lower time frames, look at this, the 5-minute chart, right? So that's that same bearish that block, right? Sell, and then it starts breaking up. Now where they were selling before, so if they've shorted, the market makers have shorted it here and they've taken the position up here, they'll take it back down into here. So we've got a bullish block, H1 block, and a breaker here, right? I don't really want to see them take it below this now. Okay, had a nice reaction off of that, took another high, and now it's time to go long. Easy stops are going to be resting above here. Easy stops. These guys, I believe they can be fucked, and for me this is quite a high probability trade. Time of day doesn't suit. You know, could have taken a long day, but it was getting quite late in the day for me because, and I just didn't want to take it. So I'm going to let this unfold, and if I'm going to take it long, ideally, I mean, this should be safe. If this gets taken, then obviously my ID is off. But I want this to hold, right? I want this to hold, and I've marked out 50% of this block here. Now, because this is just like an intraday price action, obviously you can get the stop rates. As long as this level holds, these lows hold for me, I'm okay. But a worst case scenario, you know, 50% of this, I'll bring it down to here because these two candles are bearish. I don't really want it to come to here. If it does, then I'm thinking twice about it. But what I would like to see is come London Open, you know, you got to consolidate into there, and then we see a little stop rate to the downside, power of 3 play, and then rip up, break low time frame market structure into a block, and then play up to here, and then 138.10 and done. So short term targets for me on this pair. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. I haven't gone on board this. I'm just explaining what's happened, but I haven't been on board this. The euro dollar is one trade I have taken. Now, like I explained with the dollar index, obviously euro dollar is gonna go down. I had this marked out from yesterday. Had this level marked out. See this here, solid like consolidation break. When you draw a line here, resistance, support, basics, resistance, support, resistance play, bringing blocks in to get refine your entries. That's how I see it. So I was gonna short here, but it was too late for me. So I thought, I mean, I could have shorted here, touch of that block there, and then say if I close of this candle here, or on the lower time frame, as soon as you touch that, I could have placed a stop over there because I should be safe. If it's gonna go over there, I should be safe, right? And then play it down, and I'll mark out what the market's doing. So in my head, I've got the flow right? So we can see here support broken down, sell, resistance. So I want to see the flow of the blocks, which time frame blocks are holding. I want to see them. It's like a story I play to myself in my head. What they've done is they've run the market up, taken on these stops, down again. Until this breaks, I don't know. I still think they're bullish, right? And when this breaks, okay, now buys has switched and I'm bearish, lining up with what this dollar index I've just explained. Okay, now I did take no action in this yesterday. I think I did get a little scalp, but that was it. And then, so if you look previously here, support, and then when this broke as well, that game over. Now support, as soon as this broke here, game's over, turns resistance. So we've got that there, and that H1 block are marked out. So confluences now, look for confluences. Okay, is everyone clear with me so far? I'm taking it one step at a time. How I break it down, I'll just break it down for you. This is how I do it. Okay, and resistance, and that's all I did. Now come London Open. Now obviously I stopped out on the cable. Now cable I wouldn't consider a high probability trade because of what dollar was doing. I think if dollar was looking bearish, that cable would have worked in my opinion. But I was trying to take cable long even with the dollar strength, which was so in that, when it's that setup, I'll reduce my risk. My setup was low. Now let's look at this lower time frame, right? What do we have? The fact that for me that we couldn't have a proper rally up or a proper Judas or stop rate during London Open shows me how weak this market is. We had a tiny stop rate during Asia, took out this, and like I explained here, this is the H1 blocking respected, and then we got broke down. Once that broke down, I thought, okay, any pull back up, I'm gonna get in. I pulled back up, I waited for the turn, right? Once it started to turn, I got on board here. I got in about 1.0920. I cut my stop loss there, and it started to fall. Now where are you gonna be targeting? Down here, right? Shit, my computer's a bit lagging right now. Shit, my computer's frozen. Can you guys still hear me? I'm actually frozen right now. Fuck's sakes. I don't know why the fuck this has never happened before. There we are. We're back. Okay, there. So obviously stop's gonna be there. Now I told you where I got in, right? Now I compounded a position, so when I missed this, if you missed that, there's a New York setup. Now I wait for a stop rate during a New York. I don't like to trade a trade unless I see a stop rate, because that, I don't want to keep a too wide stop. Okay, I mean obviously I can enter on any retracement, but I don't want to keep a wide stop loss. I want to get a nice tight stop loss in. So I've seen price come down here, right? Now let me ask you guys a question. This is like a strong. If you look at this, you consider a strong daily level, wouldn't you? Or, H1, H4 level. Now if it's gonna come down and take about 1 pip. If it's an intraday, right, stop rate on a 5-15 minute stop rate, 1 minute, 5-15 minute chart intraday, 1 pip stop rate, I'm okay with that. But when it's like level like this and you get a 1 pip stop rate, that's not enough for me. So the story I built in my head was, okay, obviously this is a strong support level because we've had such a big rally off of it. Naturally support, if you come back down again, you're gonna get another rally off of it. So I'm watching this, right, and if this was a 10, 15, 20 pip stop rate, and we got a rejection back up, I would have been closing my positions, let the entire price unfold and see what happens after that. But we had this and thought, okay, any stop rate now, any move up from here now is just going to be engineering longs into it and getting people long. And I see many people go long, which gave me more confidence to wait for shorts. So what I did was I waited. Now where if it's gonna bounce, where is price likely to go? Okay, so I've got this H1 block marked out, and I'm looking at intraday highs now, right? Where intraday stops resting. Well, it's come down here. You got stops resting there, stops resting there, right? So what does it do? Runs up, takes out this stop here. Now, I didn't short it there. I waited, and like this, I thought maybe it could go. When you're doing it live, you never know. So I waited, and I waited for this, right? As soon as he came down here and pushed back, touched that, I shorted it, and I kept my stop loss there. Why? Because this high took out these stops here, so if they've taken the upside stops, there's no reason for them to go back up there now. Okay, so if it was to go back up there, then most likely I'm wrong. So I placed my stop loss there, and it dropped down, took some profit off here. Then we had a dirty rate, a little spike there. So what the fuck's this? Where does this come up into? No random level, it just comes right into this. What did I do? Short. I didn't short more. I did a small short here. I'm not gonna lie. I placed a stop loss there, and I just came out there. I've still got positions running, but I've trimmed most off. And what I wanted to see was a breakdown below this. We've had that now. Now going forward, so my targets are gonna be, obviously there's lots of stops resting below here. So I think my target's gonna be here, and then I'm not sure if the whole gap's gonna be filled, but I think we will. I'll give you my reasons for it why. Down here, obviously the gap fill, and if you go to the daily, this one here, and I'll tell you why this one here. So the high of this candle is 1.0679, call it 1.0680. So I'll do 1.0679. I think by the end of the week that's where we're gonna end up. We'll break it down why I think that, because setting targets and getting out of the market is just as important as entries. A lot of us don't focus on the targets. We end up giving back a lot PA. So 1.0680, I'm gonna keep my eye on that. 1.0730, 1.0780, and 1.0820 are my targets. So what I want is price to stay below here, well, stay below this H1 block. So I'll mark out, this is how deep I'm willing for it to go before I start saying, okay, fuck this shit around here. Now I don't really want it to go here. What I would like you to do is ideally just touch up into that block, into the 1.0878 sort of level. That's the equilibrium of that. I don't want to go above that. This is worst case scenario, and then it just slowly drift lower. We've nicely closed below this now, nicely. I want to stay below that now, okay? Nice move down, then maybe in London, rip up into that level, and then carry on shorting. And if we do this, right, fib extension, because right by the 200% extension, on my other brokers, this is the 200% extension right down here. But this broker opened a bit late or something. So if I use this swing low here, yeah, well, that's just fib projections. But I think this should get reached by the end of the week. Now, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say now. Another reason why I like this than cable, well, when cable failed, I could have shorted it. But Euro GBP is obvious that it wanted to go down, right? Fill that gap in. Another thing is, look at this. You've had this high here, right? Run up, take out this high into this daily block here. Reaction off of it, which shows the selling coming in. Back up into it, and into that block, and now we're selling off again. Now this should hopefully fill this gap in, support the euro shorts, and take out these stops here. We've got a lot of filling in here, but I'm just aiming for one target at a time, day trading targets. Now another thing that's giving me confidence is, let's look at this pattern here, right? Let me get a new chart up. We've got daily. Now look at this. This accumulation here led to the move up, so we've got a breaker here and then down. This accumulation here has led to the move up into what? This is not. It's not just coming to anywhere. It's coming to a fucking weekly order block. Yeah, look at that. So, and then if you look at this, we got the weekly flow intact. It's bouncing off these weekly order blocks there, and then there. And what would you expect it? Come back down here. We've got this thin movement here, and obviously it's that gap to come back down into here. Yeah. Now, what I did was, once this block gave in, once we broke below, halfway through that block, it was game over for me, for the longs. And now this is going to be act as a breaker. So tomorrow I'll be looking for a move back into here possibly, and then just carry on shorting just like this. Look at this, down, and then we've got this level here, right? Hits that and then carries on selling. So where they were previously buying, roll reversal, once I want this candle to close below here and then down, obviously to whatever. And also with this pattern here, we had this week low here that didn't come into this daily block. Yes, these three candles are daily block, but had a bit of a void here that didn't fill in. What do? It came right down into what? This daily block here. Look at this, what's happening here. This candle here didn't come into this daily block. So what I believe is going to do this. And it's a swing low and come right back into, take out the stops here as well, into that. Is that clear? So I'm bearish this market and I'll see where it goes. Another market that Scottish I didn't get on board was this dollar yen. I believe this dollar yen is gonna fucking, well, I think at least this block here. But if we look at this, these nice stops here. If you look at this, you would say, what is this unfolding here? What would you say this is? If I was to maybe do a bit of this, I don't know, green. It's a buy model, isn't it? You get the picture. I mean, I'm not drawing a lot of boxes, but you get the picture. And with the bullish dollar, you know, I mean, this has just been relentless. And previously, last week, I posted the levels that I was looking for on the dollar yen, and it's hit those levels. If you go back on my Twitter, but I didn't take part of a majority of this move. I'm not gonna lie. But it is what it is. I don't like looking at too much pairs. If I'm in a trade, I just can't focus on too many pairs. But that's weakness on my part. But now, if I'm gonna get on board this, I'll see. Okay, how do we view this? So, I'm gonna draw the most recent levels. Support, resistance, right? Resistance, broken out of that. Now, if you've broken out of that, I'm thinking why this had to get on board. An order block forms here. I think I did take part in this. No, I didn't. So now I'm going to be looking at this level here. Support, 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 resistance, back down. Let's see if you can get a pull back into here. I'm not sure if we will. So I'm looking at this candle right here, right now. Yeah, this candle here. I want to see some sort of pullback. Ideally, I want to see some sort of pullback. But if I start seeing like something like this, so we've got that there. If I see, so we've got a bit of stops resting here. On price action, run down. So if I get a move down into here, take out these stops, right, and give me some bullish price action on the lower time frame, I'll happy to long this, take it into there. Some little day trade, 30-40 pips, and then maybe hold some position for higher prices. Now at the same time, I'd like to see maybe the dollar come into a bullish block, euro come into a bearish block at the same time. Now it doesn't necessarily have to, but if I've got more confluences, then that's what I'd like to do. So that's what I'm looking at. Another reason why I think euro is going to go further, I mean the Aussie dollar, the Kiwi, they're all looking lower to me. Kiwi I think is going to come to this level here, 67, 60s. If we look here, I mean I did take part in this, but just something I'll keep an eye on. We've got, you know, flow here, got this breaker here, this block there, and it's a run up, take out these stops, move down. Then what do we have here? A run up again into this block. Now it's touched that block, take out these stops, and if I'm correct, right, this high should hold, and I don't want to see this high being taken. Okay, and I think we're gonna get yeah, taking out these stops here. The 50 ticks from current market. Similar with Aussie dollar. I mean look how weak that is. I think we're gonna probably go for here, fill in this inefficiency, and it lines up with my dollar CAD. Okay, so I'm not really probably not gonna look to trade that. I'm looking to focus on my euro dollar, and then just take it from there. Is everyone clear with that? So I'm going to stop the recording. It was a quick one, and any questions?